It's Friday, November 3rd. Happy Friday, everybody. The return of the one and only Riley Davis. If you hear any, applause in the background, that's Theo Davis just rooting on his father, triumphantly cheering a huge return. We're so blessed to have you back on the show, Riley. Congratulations and welcome back.
I appreciate it. I don't know if you can hear Theo now, but he's a little fussy. And I'm just going to say this might be a generational performance by me if I can somehow get him to fall asleep while on this podcast. I'm trying to give my wife a break, let her go to sleep. So, yeah, I'm working with him right now. He's on my lap. You can't see it in the YouTube video, but I got a nice little cradle going right now. But, yeah, good.
If anyone can make it work, I think it's you, Riley. And he's probably not fussy. He just knows that I'm on the other end of this call, and he probably wants to get his little jabs in like he knows how to do. But let's go ahead and go to sleep. You can give me another time, Theo. It's all right.
Hey, Natalie actually told him he had to be nice to you. Like, I'm not lying to you. Before I got on this pod, she told him he had to be nice to you tonight.
Respect.
The wildest thing here to me is that you are trying to put him to sleep while podcasting. There's just no, if you do that, that's an insane, SportsCenter top 10 moment. I just don't see how that goes hand in hand as a fellow father.
I mean, it is called Sleepers, so it's fitting.
We could just start singing lullabies. Should we do a lullaby hour to start the show?
I only know one lullaby.
What's your lullaby that you know?
Lullaby, go tonight, go to sleep, little Theo. Your starting point guard is Paxton Wojcik. That's all I got.
It's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. All right. For the sake of time, we're doing this the night before. That's our new rhythm. We coerced Riley into this. Riley wanted tomorrow morning, but the team player that he is shows up with his son in tow, and we get this done for the people. But because we've been doing nighttime episodes, it's taking me forever to edit. I'm just up to 2:30 in the morning. So we're going to get right into the episode. But I see that Carter is once again doing some sort of dinner bit. This looks like a Bell's beer cart. What do we got here?
Yeah, it is. It's something that caught my eye. It's Bell's Oberon Eclipse. It's a citrus wheat beer. I was buying some toilet paper just before we go to New York this weekend. To watch my wife on the marathon, and I was I saw it at the front counter, and it just kind of caught my eye. So thought I'd buy a little 6-pack and have one while we record tonight.
Are you trying the first sip right now?
Mm-hmm.
Give us a quick little review.
That is honestly delicious, truly. And I'm not an Oberon guy either. It tastes completely different than Oberon. I saw Oberon Eclipse, and I was like, this is really good.
Okay, I love the original Oberon, and I've been eyeing the Oberon Eclipse, but I've been a little bit afraid that it's too different from the original.
Hold the trigger.
Not an Oberon guy?
No, I think Oberon stinks. The only reason I support it is because, I used to support it because, people that I know used to work there, but once they were done with it, I was done faking I like Oberon. I think it's absolutely overrated.
Yeah, so what Cart's alluding to is my wife used to work at Lovely.
I didn't want to. You told me not to dox you.
Yeah, I meant not where I live, not where my wife used to work. That's a very different thing, sir.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, my wife used to work at Bell's. It was great. We got a bunch of free beer. Coincidentally, I got a lot healthier when she stopped working at Bell's. I'm glad that looks good. I also want to just quickly fixate on the fact you said you're going to New York. So you were out buying toilet paper? Were you buying toilet paper to bring to New York, or were you going to have a bathroom emergency between now and when you leave for New York?
Well, I just knew it was on the last strand before I left. So if anything went down tonight, which it was bound to go down tonight, based on my dinner, I don't got to really let y'all know that. But I knew I needed a full roll at my arsenal.
It was bound to go down tonight. That's my line.
It's those magnesium mocktails. That's what's keeping you. That's what's keeping you regular and probably a little too much.
So Riley claims before we clicked record that he's been keeping up on the show, and he was going to drop some tidbits early in the show to let us know. Magnesium mocktails, I suppose, is one. Do you have any others that you'd like to allude to?
Yeah, I got a couple because, look, I'll be real. When Theo was born, I kind of went off the grid for a couple of weeks. I feel like that's justifiable. I wasn't really listening to any podcasts. Last week when I wasn't on the show, there was some implications were made that I wasn't meeting the sleepers halfway. when this is a trifecta that I'm fully invested in. So first, I wanted to say again, I take the high road. I'm a man of integrity. I wanted to give a shout out to Cart because I think it was in a show last week where he mentioned that he gave his point guard a pep talk who wasn't shooting free throws well, and that he became a 90% free throw shooter, and it was just kind of glossed over. That Cart literally helped a man like go from a liability at the charity stripe to a 90% shooter. So I mean, future career in coaching or something like that. That's special right there. That's the first thing I wanted to say. So
I appreciate that.
Kids at home, make sure you remember that Cart has real ball knowledge, has real experience.
I think you'd be a better motivational speaker than you would be a coach. I just want to say that real quick. Do you agree with that?
Me?
Yeah.
No, because like once someone didn't buy into my motivation, I'd be like, well, just give up then. If you're not going to buy into what I'm spitting right now, then just go ahead and give up, because I'm not here to convince anybody. I'm here to motivate.
Okay. All right. Continue,
Hustle
Riley.
and motivate. Yeah. Second thing, I got a prop for this one.
Wow. You
It's
you have the guy shirt.
It's the same Caleb Love shirt that guy wore on this podcast a couple of days ago. And I just wanted to say, I had no idea that guy's mom went to UNC. When you combine that with the fact that he has a 4.6 GPA, let me tell you, there's nothing more than Carolina students love talking about than their high school GPA, especially their first 2 years of college. Guy, I don't know what year he is in high school, but there's a very real chance within like 3 years, he's going to be a student at UNC, and me and him are going to be doing live shows at the Dean Dome after UNC games, breaking it down. So keep working hard, guy. Keep working. We're not a school podcast, but like we need you to keep those grades up so you can be in Chapel Hill.
I would be so proud if that ever happened, first of all. And second of all, I'm just realizing Riley's correct. We aren't a school podcast. Does that mean like, did we give Guy a roster spot just to raise the Sleepers GPA? Is that what we did here?
I mean, speak for yourself. I went to the Harvard of the Midwest, and I graduated magna cum laude from Albion College. So please respect me.
Is it laude or laude?
I like saying laude because it's like a little fancier, but I'm pretty sure it's cum laude.
I think it's loud. That's how they. Gee Wizzy, did you ever get any cum laude, magna cum laude, summa cum laude?
No. So my whole academic career could be summarized by Kalel Ware's career path. Like I was extremely talented academically and did not put the effort in. Too much of a head case.
Respect.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, it worked out. I wasn't a bad student by any means. I think I was like a 3.5 type GPA guy, but really,
that's like right around where I was, I think.
Yeah,
3.4, somewhere in that range.
3.5, what? 3.5 by coasting? Wow.
I mean,
that's bad.
I don't want to go like all mathy here, but like if we do want to pull out ACT scores, I can get my Kevin Sweeney on for a moment. We've
already done this. We know that you got a higher ACT score than me. Okay?
just 3.5, not great on my scale. You know, is what it is.
Okay.
All right, here we are. Do you have a YouTube comment today, Carter?
I do. Sorry, and credit to you, Riley, because you do. Not only were you listening, you were. Well, I guess you could have got some of those clues by listening, but you must have watched if you saw the Caleb Love t-shirt then, right? Are you more of a YouTube?
I was listening, but as soon as I heard Guy mention a Caleb Love shirt, I pulled up the YouTube and fast forwarded to where I was in the podcast to get a glimpse. Okay. And I had to see the Walker Kessler comparison too with the appearance. He definitely looks more Kessler than Cooper Flag.
Yeah. That's what I said. All right, let's see here. Because of that Purdue and Grace exhibition episode that we did, we got a good fair amount of Purdue comments. So I think I'm going to pick one from that. And I think I'm going to go with this one. I've been telling Purdue fans, I'm one of them since 2000, that Gillis has to be a 3 and First the 4 and Edey the 5. Smith and Lawyer have to learn to ball handle alongside the other 3. I've also been saying TKR has to be a backup 5 for Edey. Morton, Lance, Colvin, Heidi are the reserves. And the reason I brought this up is because it actually got a lot of traction. It had a lot of replies on it. And one of the replies was, as a Purdue fan, I don't know where the narrative came from that Smith has to be better than Lawyer. Lawyer has to be better than Smith in order for Purdue to be great. Call me crazy, but I believe that Smith and Jones should play off the ball and Lawyer should come off the bench as a spark plug. That really took a turn that I didn't expect. And he says, also, I've never been big on TKR ever since the 6'3" center at my high school held him to 10 points. LOL. A lot to unpack there, but there was a lot of, I brought it up because there's a lot of back and forth in the comments as far as where people are at on Purdue. Some people are like, TKR is not going to work. Some people are like, I want Gillis at the 3. Some people are like, Gillis at the 3 won't work. What I don't know if I'm ready for this Purdue turmoil. I might have to sell my stock, Greg. I know you've been holding on to yours, but should we sell a good portion of it? There's way too much going on for my liking right now.
Yeah, so it scares me here. Like, even we were exchanging some DMs with Purdue people that we really respect. We'll leave their names off the podcast this time. I just didn't love what I'm hearing even privately. It's like I think the exact quote was, we brought Lance Jones in to make sure we don't lose to a 16 seed. I'm like, we're way off the plot if we need Lance Jones to not lose to a six. Like, you have Zach Edey. You're going to win in March because you have Zach Edey and because of what Braden Smith do, not because of whatever your fourth option does. And Purdue doesn't know who their fourth option is, and that's okay right now, but it's definitely not great. It's scary. It does feel like when you compare how their fans are reacting to the early signs of their team compared to others, they don't know the answers. Like, all the dialogue is guys that aren't their national player of the year, and everybody has a different guy they want to see win the battle. And that scares me a little bit because that probably means nobody's right, and they should all be terrified. Riley, what's your take? Like, have you seen any of the Purdue drama? Are you worried?
I was a little worried they lost in the exhibition game to Arkansas, just because, like, I think Arkansas has a lot of questions with how they shoot offensively. I wasn't expecting like Leighton Blocker to look like a SEC freshman of the year contender against them. Yeah, y'all hit on the turnovers of Braden Smith. I think it's kind of a ludicrous take to say that Lawyer is more important. I feel like Smith is the one who makes it go, and he's just so much more dynamic on ball. Yeah, the Jones bit, like, I don't know. That dude, he seems so insignificant. Like, you got to get Colvin involved. Like, that's if you want to, not let what happened in March happen again, add that dose of athleticism. Stop prioritizing. Like, how long has Jones been in college?
It's been there for a good minute.
What is this, like a fifth year, and like he's 6'1", volume shooter? Like,
yeah,
develop the young guy.
Right.
See if that pays dividends in March.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Greg. I think you made the point yesterday that I think sums it up for me. They need to look at Lance Jones as a David Jenkins type, not a problem solver type. Like, they need to figure out who is going to be between Heidi, Colvin, and Waddell. You got 3 choices. One of them's got to be the best choice. Right now, to me, it looks like Heidi is the best option at that spot. And I think you just got to play him the majority of the minutes at the 3. And at worst, you're going to have an athlete at that position who has the size and athleticism to do some things and add some things to the other players around him. So to me, it seems easy, and also not fair to Lance Jones when you think about it either. Like, if I don't think Lance Jones came in to be the answer at the 3. I think he just came to play with a winning program and maybe play with the other guards on this team. I don't necessarily think that he came to be the problem solver at the 3, but I mean, who knows though? That's just me speculating.
Yeah, when you have the best player in the country, you have a safety net to where I think it just makes more sense to go with the young guys and hope you can develop them than a fifth-year guy who's just there to try to win, Yeah. And he'll serve another role. Yeah.
I've made fun of North Carolina this offseason, as Riley knows, but to me, this would be like if Carolina fans got to the first week of the season and were gassing up like, oh, like our ceiling just got raised exponentially in March because Paxton Wojcik is here. You'd be like, no, it's not. Like, at the minimum, you guys are like, it's Elliot Cadeau. He looks generational and he's coming off the bench, but by March, he's going to be great. Like, Purdue's not even doing that anymore. Purdue's just like, yeah, this transfer role player is the key to our season. Like, that really scares me. All right. Thanks for that comment, Cart. Thank you to Purdue Nation, though. I will say, obviously, we've had some back and forth with fan bases this week. I think all of our Purdue dialogues have been pretty well received and just respectful back and forth. Like, even people that disagree with us seem to be pretty cordial in the way they're engaging with us. So that is much appreciated. We did have a clip today that was kind of blunt about how concerned we are with Purdue. And a lot of good dialogue came out of that instead of, like, really animosity-filled Twitter threads and subtweets and pigs and lipstick. So I appreciate that. That's really good news. Let's go to the Discord, where we have some comments from our lovely Discord members. Once again, community's growing here. I believe we have finally crossed the 60 paid members mark, which is great. Join now before the season, because I'm still figuring out what I'm going to do with my daily picks, but it's probably going to route through the Discord in some form. Let's get right into them. Trent Frazier is GOAT starts us off today. And we're continuing the Luke Goody conversation. He says, the only reason I used high school stats is because Luke only played like 10 games last year due to injury. I see what you guys are getting at, but he didn't play much his freshman year either. I'll give a more detailed approach here because I really want to defend my guy, Luke. This is all on Basketball Reference. He's logged 388 minutes in his college career in 38 games. That's about 10 minutes per game. 13% usage rate, 53% true shooting, 2.5 threes attempted per game in his career, 38.7%. Carter, are we coming around on this at all with Goody, or is this argument a dead end for you?
I mean, I respect his argument. I respect the numbers. I respect the ability to type in bballreference.com. I want to see it. Like, I'm going to watch a lot of Illinois games this year, and I think Goody's going to get his fair amount of chances. And if he hits shots, great, play him. But if he doesn't, it's looking like other guys like Damas deserve to be on the floor to hit shots. And they maybe have some other guys, even, I mean, I don't even know, maybe even Gary A in that spot could be a guy who can knock down shots. I think right now it's a year of opportunity for Goody. Like, if he hits shots, he's going to play. If he doesn't hit shots, not going to play. Like, really simple for him. So I guess we'll see. He's one of the guys I believe in as a shooter. I think I brought up the other day, like Ty Berry, even though the percentages don't match up, I believe in that kid to knock down shots. I believe in Luke Goody to knock down shots. Now it's just a matter of if he does it or not.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. To me, there's guys who say they can do something, and then there's guys who do it. And Luke Goody right now is a guy who says he can shoot, and everybody says he can shoot. Then go make shots. Like, he's been on a couple teams that could have used a guy who just makes shots instead of says he can make shots. And I get it. He's been hurt. That's difficult. Injuries are part of the game. Like, are we confident he's going to make it through a season healthy? And right now, he was supposed to start this year, right? Like, a week and a half ago, Luke Goody was penciled in as a starter. And then we got to the exhibition game, and he's coming off the bench, and Quincy Guerrier is in the starting lineup. That wasn't expected. So, once again, just a guy that we kind of need to see. Theo agrees with me. That's lovely. Jack MCM, welcome to the Discord. First of all, Jack, he says, how would you rank the Power Six conferences this year? That sounds like a great question for Riley Davis.
Wow, Power Six. I guess you probably still got to go with the Big 12 as number one. I don't know if I fully.
Whoa.
I don't know if I fully.
I feel like that's not an argument.
Believe that, but it's just like history's on its side. I'm just like, I'm getting lower and lower on Kansas by the day, and I feel like Kansas carries some serious weight for that league.
Is there a second team in the Big 12 that's not Kansas that you like more than the third best team in the Big East?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
maybe Texas.
I was gonna say any of the three.
I like Texas better than Marquette. For the Big East right now, I have UConn and Creighton, and I'd take Texas over Marquette.
I think for me, the fall off in the Big East after that third team is exponential, and I don't think that damn, that dude just got rolled up on. Sorry, I don't think that the fall off in the Big 12 is as bad. Like, you go down the list of the Big 12 teams, like, who's in that 4th to like 6th range? Like Kansas State. Kansas State is blowing the doors off of a Xavier, a Georgetown, I don't know what other teams I'm missing. DePaul. Like, there's some really bad teams in the Big East.
Butler's awful.
Butler.
I guess. We don't know. There's a lot of unknowns, I think. I think the more known factor to me is the three teams of the Big East are better than Texas. I think that's a little bit of a stretch. We like Texas on this show, but like, Marquette was fringe top 5 in the country most of last year. UConn defending champ.
I'm definitely taking Houston over Marquette too. I keep forgetting about Houston. I like Houston way better than Marquette, dude. Like that, it's a formula that works year in, year out. Like, doesn't matter who's on the team. They have guards that can create, and they have dogs in the front court who are going to get a ton of offensive rebounds, foul you nonstop, but it doesn't matter because you're not going to score on the interior.
I'm with Riley.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I'd go Big 12, Big East.
SEC's got to be 3. I think SEC is 3 at the lowest.
You think SEC, where you put the Big Ten, you put them before the ACC or after?
Yeah, for sure. Big Ten still before the ACC.
Oh, hold the phone here. Who's the best team in the SEC?
One of Arkansas, Kentucky, Tennessee, or Auburn. And I like all 4 of those teams a lot.
Okay, all 4 of those teams are like 15 teams behind Michigan State and Purdue.
I know, but like, again, after Michigan State and Purdue, you have Ohio State and Maryland, who I think will both be, those are Ohio State, Maryland, Illinois, who I think will all be really good this year, should be tournament teams, but I think they're less proven than both Arkansas, Tennessee, and Auburn are, as far as like from a
what's proven about Auburn this year?
They got Bruce Pearl, who has a Final Four on his resume and like gets him to the tournament pretty much every year.
Yeah, Broom's going to be a first team All SEC guy. Aiden Holloway's going to be a lot of fun. KD Johnson.
I mean, a lot of fun doesn't mean proven top 10 team. Like Illinois is right in the mix with Auburn.
Auburn has a lot of guys coming back. I feel like
it's a good team.
They got KD
Purdue's
Johnson
in the Big Ten, dog.
They got Jalen Williams. Okay, that's one. It's a whole
stand up for your team, Cart.
It's a whole conference. I'm fine with it.
All right. So we've just admitted that the Big Ten and the ACC stink. That's where we're at. Where's the Pac-12 in this?
Pac-12 is last.
Yeah, Pac-12 is last.
I don't like this. I don't like this energy. I feel ganged up on. Guy says start bench cut. Riley Davis, Guy, Deion Hill Ford. Cart, you take that one.
I'm starting Riley. I'm benching Deion, and I'm cutting Guy.
My answer is a little bit different. I'm starting Riley. I am benching Guy, and I'm cutting Deion because Deion would understand and support anything I do, honestly. I think anybody else I cut would get a little upset. Deion would be like, yeah, that made a lot of sense, bro. Good move.
Good move. Good call.
Travis Nelson says, mentioning Purdue struggles other than Edey and Smith, with those 2 back and some others, why couldn't have Painter gotten a badass wing in the portal? That's a good question, right?
Yeah, it's not one I can answer. I don't know why he didn't.
Remember when they were supposed to get Nigel Pack until NIL didn't work out?
Yeah.
Imagine this team with Braden Smith and Nigel Pack, dude.
Crazy. Yeah, Purdue's a weird one for transfers because you never know how much NIL they have. I think they certainly had to put a package together to keep Zach Edey for another year. And obviously they were successful with that, but it's just hard to tell what's real and what's not with the rumor mill and how much Matt Painter is actually like aggressive for the top tier guys in the portal over the Lance Joneses. It's hard for me to read. G-Boo4 says, regarding the MSU minus 15.5 line on opening night, I feel like they covered this line unlike previous year's teams because of how talented our second rotation is. When we're up 25 with 8 minutes to go last year, we were rolling with freshman Coop, Kohler, Holloman, and then Jason Wittens. I think we will be scoring and defending a full 40 minutes. I don't expect to see any of that late game slipping that we may have had in previous years. Your thoughts, Cart?
I actually like that point a lot, and it's not something I did think about. But at the same time, I think that his point sounds good, but there was a lot of close games where guys like Hogard and them were playing a lot of the game, and they really couldn't pull away. I might be a little off base here, but I will agree with you that if we do bring in bench guys, there's guys that I think are going to have a lot of fun and hold the lead or increase the lead. So with that said, I'm still on James Madison plus 15.5, but I see what he's saying.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't looked over James Madison's season preview, but I feel like they beat up on really bad teams. Like they're going to blast some teams by like 30 or 40 and just run them out of the gym, but they can't do that against high majors. I think Michigan State covers that.
I'm with that. I like the Michigan State side of this for sure. I also like Tom Izzo's comments today. He came out and said the explanation for Xavier Booker's low minutes was that he was late to team shoot around or a meeting or something, whatever the game day stuff was. He just showed up late before the very first game of his career. 1, hilarious. 2, maybe indicative of where Xavier Booker can be mentally sometimes. 3, good to know Izzo wasn't just going to play him 8 minutes a game, if not for that. He's acting like Booker will be a bigger part of this rotation. So he also said, Cart, this deserves a longer conversation sometime next week, but he said he doesn't intend to play any player 30 minutes on this team.
My coach, generational liar. Generational.
Yeah. I'm glad you're willing to say that, Cart. Meg B005 says, since you guys started hyping up TKR, Trey Kaufman-Renn, in the offseason, and him starting alongside Zach Edey, I've been doubtful about how that will work. TKR and Edey on the floor together doesn't work the same way playing Travion Williams and Zach together didn't work. It just looks so clunky out there. I much prefer Gillis or First starting alongside Edey, although I know that will technically lower Purdue's ceiling overall. Yeah, through 2 exhibition games, I think that's a really fair point and something we missed on in the offseason. You agree, Cart?
Yeah, honestly, I've been feeling pretty bad about my breakout big takes. Like I wasn't moved by TKR. I wasn't really moved by Malik Renault. And it's kind of disheartening because I had a lot of invested into those guys having breakouts. But I just don't think TKR is ever going to have the chance to break out playing next to Edey because it just doesn't fit. And also, I'm starting to have worries that will he even break out if he is that guy? Like, if I'm a Purdue fan, I think a lot of them were looking forward to, like, next year, Zach Edey leaves, TKR has the keys at center. That looks scary to me now. Like, I don't know if I actually want that. So yeah, it's a little disappointing. I thought he'd look a little better so far. A lot of season left to play, but definitely a little bit disappointed with his play thus far.
I'm not selling TKR stock. I'm holding right now. It's been very, very clunky. I think when we get to real games, talent could shine through. Some guys may look better against worse competition. Some guys I think will look better against better competition. TKR is the type to me that will shine when they're in a dogfight against a really good team. We'll see if I'm right. We'll see if I'm wrong. Traveling Gonad is back. I got to meet Traveling Gonad, by the way. That's what this comment is about. He says, I am both hurt and saddened by the comments made by Greg Waddell regarding the fateful darts game that occurred on Saturday, October 21st at the Roadhouse Pub. I feel like Jaden Epps getting blamed by 3 points per game, Ty Rodgers, for the team's late season struggles. Greg would be a perfect fit for the toxic Illinois locker room. Let it be known you would think this man is allergic to chalk with how little he marked up the scoreboard. I want to thank all of the fans who have stuck with me through these trying times, and I will be back better than ever. Hashtag Gonad out. Yeah, I stand by my comments. I appreciate this comment from Gonad, but I mean, if we're just doing like box scores from the darts game, if we lost 15-12, I had 9 of the 12. You can add it up. I'm not a math podcast, but
it's team game.
It is a team game. Our team lost because our team had a guy who couldn't hit a 19. What do you want from me? I mean, I was allergic to the chalk, though, not in a sense of like I couldn't put a score on the board, but I just didn't like doing the chalk. It was getting all over my fingers. So it wasn't a good time. But we did take a tequila shot, Traveling Gonad. In fact, I did. You were going to buy me a drink because you're such a nice guy. And I was like, dude, you pay for the Discord. Let me buy you a drink. So shout out to you. I miss you. Your fantasy basketball team was elite. I'll meet you at Roadhouse Pub in like 2 months. Bryce is in the building. He was getting a lot of flack for the way he makes waffles. See, this is what you miss in the Sleepers Discord, okay? Just like wholesome conversations like this on a daily basis. Bryce has some background on the skillet waffles, for those who don't know. The method was passed down from his aunt to his dad to him. That was just the way they made their waffles growing up and passed it down to us. Randomly, one day I get informed that Tyler, the creator, popularized it, but my family has been doing so long before he ever made a record. I only mention him because it's a popular video, but I urge everyone to try their hand at skillet waffles. Riley, have you ever heard of skillet waffles?
I have not, but I'm pretty darn good at making waffles. I'm going to throw that out there. Make them from scratch.
Yeah, he's talking about taking an Eggo waffle. Instead of putting it in a toaster, you put it on the skillet.
Oh, I respect that.
I respect it. It's just like, why? Just throw it in the toaster.
Yeah.
You just don't. Just let it go, Bryce.
It's like a waffle's not the flattest thing, right? Like I feel like if you're cooking something on a skillet, you want it to be pretty flat so that it actually like cooks the entire surface area. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, it is pretty. Waffles are pretty flat.
Well, like, if you put a waffle on a skillet, it's not getting into the squares of the waffle, right?
Mm-hmm. Which sort of defeats the purpose of eating a waffle.
Yeah,
your crispiness is not gonna be uniform.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you just buy a mini TikTok. You buy a mini waffle maker off TikTok, and you make the batter, and then you make it in the waffle maker.
Yeah,
that's what I'm a proponent of. And making waffles is so easy. If you make your own batter, I promise you will never buy store-bought, pre-boxed batter again.
Wow.
That's a little pro tip
First.
from your boy Bluffs.
I think we're a cooking podcast now. If you,
Bluffs.
yeah, Riley loves the Bluffs nickname, doesn't he?
I do love the Bluffs nickname. It's so
fire.
great.
It's
a really good nickname. Booby is back in the chat. He has double for today because
can I stop you, Greg? Can I stop you real quick? The first player is Justin. I believe it's Plagues.
JP Pegs.
JP Pegs, really good player. Hit that shot last year from Furman. We're not reading that second player. I looked it up. He's not real.
Are you serious?
Second player is not real.
Actually,
I looked at. I typed that name into Google and I did not find a player. He tried to get us.
I give you so much credit for deciphering this because I 100% would have just read it.
Nope, he made it up.
Can we read his name?
I've copy and pasted it into Google.
Card, he's real. I just Googled it. He's real.
For real?
Yeah, he's on the Iona basketball roster. Yeah. Yeah, this guy's real.
Oh.
He played at Stetson the last 4 years, and now he's at Iona. This is a real player. The player is Wiza Panzo. That's a real name, Wiza Panzo. He says, this is my deepest grab so far. This is Booby speaking, of course. Panzo just excites me for what Tobin Anderson could be cooking over at Iona. He's a grad transfer from Stetson, shot 47% from three. The research checks. Cart, you said you Googled this. I Googled it and immediately found Wiza Panzo.
Yeah, I got no comment. I thought I had him.
What a plot twist. Booby, you almost had us, but I think you have us in a mental pretzel anyway right now. Jonah Freeman, Jonah Freeman's here helping out Booby. He says a good friend of mine's a player for Stetson. I can confirm that Wiza is legit. You thought there was this whole conspiracy in the Discord trying to get you, Cart?
Yeah, I didn't even read that part. That's on me.
Two different witnesses. Fam has a comment on Bluffs Friday. He says, can we get a State of the Union on hashtag Bluffs Friday, given the shift in show release times? Hashtag Big Breezy. Big Breezy himself. Do you want to comment on the change in recording times?
I'm here. I will be here.
You're not a system player. You are the system.
I am the system.
That's a great quote. That's a great line.
That's such a bar.
Another question specifically for Bluffs from Fam. He says, what's your go-to celebratory meal?
Oh, great question. First thought that came to mind was like a lobster tail or something. And I feel like that's very on brand for what Fam thinks of me. The more blue collar meal would be buffalo wings.
Like I would any buffalo wings or like from a certain spot or your own like.
I mean, there's a place in Chapel Hill called Four Corners that has really good wings. That would probably be my go-to in the area. There's some better places in Charlotte though when I'm back home.
I thought for sure you were going to say you hand batter your own wings, and that's the only way to do them.
I mean, I've made wings on the grill before. Grilled wings, smoke them a little bit. It's different, and I'm pretty good at doing it.
I'm with you. Go say it.
Riley's at the top of my list of people I would like to go to their house and be treated to a meal from them.
Oh, anytime. If the boys come south for a college hoops to go, you know where to find me.
Do you hatch your own eggs?
I do not.
Okay.
What type of question is that, man?
No, I like picture
like, do we have chickens?
I literally picture myself waking up in the morning. I get a stretch. I go hit the nice coffee maker, and Riley's playing with Theo. I look at Natalie, I'm like, hey Natalie, good morning. And she's like, would you like some breakfast? And I'm like, I am a little hungry. I could do like something. She goes, oh, just go grab a couple eggs from the coop out back. I'm like, oh, okay. And I just go pop a few in there, and she makes me a nice scrambled eggs.
I will say she has thrown the ideas out before of having chicken, so you're not that off base.
Yeah.
She's a vegetarian environmental studies major who is one with nature. So I think that's sort of been a dream of hers to own land and have chickens, which is very different than me. I'm way more bougie than that. But
you're this deep in a Davis household fantasy that Riley's wife, Theo's mother, is making eggs for you.
Well, because Riley's busy with Theo.
I have so many follow-up questions about this. Cart, you had a guess where Bluffs would have his celebratory meal at? Do you want to speak to that?
Well, it was a joke, Bluffs, just throwing this out there. But I thought you would go to like a Denny's or like a Golden Corral to like humble yourself, but also like just eat with normal people, but like have a nice little meal.
If I was gonna pick a place like that, I'd probably go to like IHOP.
Hey, IHOP slaps. Good choice.
Do love IHOP. Craig, another question for Bluffs. Everybody is so happy that Bluffs is back in the building. He says the timing on this admittedly got considerably worse after Riley skipped last week, but I still need his thoughts on this tweet. And then if you open up the tweet, this is a tweet from Alec Lewis, and I'm just going to read it word for word. Kirk Cousins said Creed was playing again pregame. Quote, it was good morale. Some of the players went to pray in the locker room, but before they turned the Creed off. Quote, Harrison Smith made a good point, Cousins said. He said, guys, this is the prayer.
As a man of faith myself, there's nothing more than I would love is to start my day off with prayer and creed. So that might make me no, I can't jump on the Vikings bandwagon because I'm already on the Lions bandwagon. Come on, division rivals. But I respect it.
Still staying strong with the Lions bandwagon thing?
Oh yeah, one pride, baby.
Okay, nice.
Can't believe we traded for DPJ. Let's go. Michigan man coming home.
Basketball Jones wants to know from Bluffs, is it okay to take a date to the Cheesecake Factory?
No.
What?
She will not be impressed. Menu's way too overwhelming. Y'all are both going to leave feeling full and gross. Like, pick a place better than Cheesecake Factory.
That's crazy.
I thought that was like a hint at the Drake bar. Like, why you got to fight with me at Cheesecake?
No, it was actually a big social media discourse about taking dates to Cheesecake Factory. And a lot of people felt the same way Riley did, which I can't get over. I mean, Cheesecake Factory's safe. The huge menu. They're going to have something everybody wants.
I've never been to a Cheesecake Factory.
Of course you haven't. What the?
Is that like a crazy thing? Is it?
Yes, man.
I don't know where a Cheesecake Factory is. Like, where is a Cheesecake Factory?
We're going to one.
It's actually not. It's not bad food by any means. It's just the menu's enormous, and if you're trying to impress a first date, I guess like if y'all been together for a while, there's probably nothing wrong with that. But if it's a first date and you're trying to impress somebody, I'd probably be a little more creative.
Can like two platonic friends go to Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah,
that'd be fine.
So like, are we going to go to a Cheesecake Factory, Cart?
I would love to go to Cheesecake Factory with all you guys. Honestly, Sleepwalkers meetup at Cheesecake Factory might go up.
Okay. There are a couple Sleepwalkers events that are being organized behind the scenes right now. I know Coy is literally organizing one. Like, he has a table reserved for a day, and multiple people confirmed going on site. So that should be fun. Final comment of the day is from Malik Perry, and I don't even think this is necessarily something we should read on the show, but it's in the comment section. So Malik, I got your back. He says, would you guys be interested in a fan segment at the end of the season? I already have one in mind. Yeah, of course. Although with your mind, I'm terrified, Malik.
Yeah. Malik scares me more than anyone in the Discord.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah, there's like predictable scary people in the Discord, and then there's like total wild card scary, and Malik is wild card scary for sure.
Yeah,
but there's moments of clarity with Malik that are just special. So last thing from me to the comment section, just real quick, as we wrap the week here. Booby, I'm still stuck on Weeza Panzo. Like, I'm looking at his numbers, man. I feel like there's got to be a bar. Like, we can't be coming in here gassing up dudes who have career scored 8 points a game. We can't be doing that, right? Like, that's not the intent of this network. That's not the intent of this show. And I want to honor and read every single comment, but like, Booby, can we get some better players if we're doing a player of the day? I don't need like first name All-Americans, but like, give me somebody who like has some redeeming quality and isn't just named Weeza Panzo.
That name is wild.
It's wild, but like, I can't believe we're gassing up that like thoroughly average stats. So Booby, I mean the hot seat you, Booby. I appreciate all that you do. Your graphics look great. You put in the time, you put in the effort. The comments are fantastic. You're a great supporter of us, but come on, give me a better player going forward. That's your challenge for next week, Booby. Thanks to everybody in the Discord. You can join the Discord, link in the description of every single video that we do. It's $9.99 a month. Join on a desktop. Should be a bounce back week for Sleepers Bets newsletter. That should come before the weekend. And keep supporting us so we can do more cool things like host Bleacher Report streams, which there is another one Monday, by the way. 12 p.m. noon Eastern time. We'll be back in the BR app. This time, doing our hottest takes, our boldest predictions for the college basketball season, which, if I'm not mistaken, may come into play right now in this episode because Riley Davis gets to take over the show. He has 3 topics, and I have a feeling I might know what the first one is.
Yep. First topic, which actually might end up being the whole episode based on how long we've been going. Y'all did 20 bold predictions apiece last week. So yes. I decided I had to follow that up with 20 of my own. So we'll go through 20 bold predictions.
Let's go.
I want the point value system and everything. I want to join the contest. I'm inserting myself into it. So let's get into it.
I am doing veto power right now. This is the whole show. Sorry to anybody. Cool. Sorry to anybody at home. The way we did the special episode last week, it was the whole show. This is officially the whole show. It's Riley Davis takeover hour, 20 bold predictions. Let's get to it.
This is what we wanted in the first place too. Like this was the original plan for all of us to come with 20. So like this is perfect. Let's go. Yeah.
All right. So I sort of categorized them like Greg did as well. So these first 5, I have 5 NCAA tournament related bold predictions. I'll kick it off with some Mountain West talk. And I'm going to say for the second straight year, the Mountain West gets over the hump and gets the team to the Elite 8. But it's not going to be San Diego State, not New Mexico. It's the Boise State Broncos.
Wow.
They're probably going to be like a 7, 8, 9 seed again, but they have Tyson Degenhart, who is just a matchup nightmare, can play the 4, can play the 5, can stretch it, has some guard skills. And they have pretty solid guards on top of that with Max Rice, Leon Sun. I really like their depth. I mean, I covered them for the Almanac, so I'm slightly biased, but they have legit athleticism on the wing that I think can keep up with a lot of opponents.
Who's their guard? They used to have Shaver last year. He's not there anymore, right?
Yeah, it's a kid from UC San Diego whose name is slipping me, but he had multiple like 30-point games last year.
Okay.
And as a true freshman. A true freshman.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you said Elite 8. I can't give you a lot of points because you said Elite 8. I feel like we can only get 5 for that, Greg.
So how do we want to do the point system? Do we want you and we got to come to a consensus no matter what? Or do we want to give our own grade and then average it? What do you think?
No, I think me and you can come to consensus, especially because I'm very, very keen to just folding to you. No homo.
Yeah, you are pretty convincible. Okay. Here's the thing. I would be okay with giving it 5, but then I step back and realize the prediction is Boise State to the Elite 8. Just like say that out loud for a second. He just picked Boise State to the Elite 8, and we're going to give him 5?
Are you okay. I guess you're right. You think it's 7?
I think it's at least. I mean, Boise State's not going to the Elite 8. No offense, Boise State fans.
Degenhart and Rice are good, and so is Leon Rice.
Roddy Anderson is the guard from San Diego. Who's look at his highlights. He was a true freshman last year, super bouncy, good streaky shooter, but can get hot. So
Roddy or Robbie?
Roddy. Roddie.
Yeah, I'm in. Okay, that's definitely just a 5. It's not a 7.
Because he's
that just sounds like a dude who could shoot you the second we get for sure. I'm okay with that. Yeah, 5 points. I like that pick. You're coming in hot, Riley. Good work. Are you tallying this, by the way? Because
I am. I'm tallying it.
Oh, you are.
Oh, if you want, I'm good for either of us to tally it.
But let's let Riley tally it, Cart.
All right, I'll tally it. All right, second prediction. Second prediction also involves.
Wait, hold on. Cart, are we okay?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. I want my credit, man. I want my flowers.
I can give you flowers. I can count. I know you can count. Do you want to count?
No, Riley's got it.
Let's let Cart count. Cart's counting.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, second prediction. Second prediction also involves the Elite 8. And this one's going to be about the Ohio State Buckeyes. I think Chris Holtmann finally has his breakthrough, gets a nice little tournament run, and I like the Buckeyes to go to the Elite 8 at least, maybe even further, but I'm going to stick with the Elite 8 for now.
I like the Buckeyes, Greg.
You're a Buckeye at heart.
I am a Buckeye. We like the Buckeyes.
Mm-hmm.
To me, this can't be above. I think this is the team that goes to the second Elite 8 though.
If you think about it, that 2 seed team lost to a 15 seed. Like, he's had some good teams that have flamed out to where I think maybe it's worth a little more than like a 3 or 4.
Okay, some food for thought for me on this card. I also want to officially make the rule that you have veto power on the numbers for the rest of the episode. So
Okay.
if we can't agree to something at the end of the day, you get to make the call. Couple things. How close is Chris Holtman to our whole shtick ongoing of like who's their coach that we use to diminish a team in March? Because Chris Holtman never does anything in March ever.
Yeah, he's very close, but we love him.
We do love him, but like you could use the shtick on Chris, right?
You
Like,
could. You very well could.
To
Yes.
me, that makes this a very bold prediction, even if you're high on Ohio State, because yeah, he's just never done it. That would be shocking to me.
Okay. How about I'm feeling good on this one. I'm feeling a little bit lenient. I'll give how about 8 points for this one?
I like
I'll
that.
take it. I'll take it.
He's never been there. It'd be the first time.
I also have a theory that Riley's going to just have 19 predictions of teams to the Elite Eight, and then he's going to end up hitting 8 of 19 and feel really good about
it. That's not true. That's my last Elite Eight one specific. This next one might be based in a little wishful thinking, but I have an inclination here. UNC with more tourney wins than Duke. Ooh. UNC advances further.
Talk me through that. How does that happen?
I think UNC gets to the second weekend because RJ Davis goes nuclear for 2 games at least. Wouldn't surprise me if they did it as like a 6, 7, 8 seed again. There's something about this Duke team that feels to me like they're going to be really good all season, get like a 2 seed, but then flame out to a really gritty 7 seed in the second round. Like I think Shire still has to prove it as a coach. Like, don't get me wrong. Some of the sets he ran offensively, the way he got his team defending last year was really good. I know I have my biases against Duke, but there's just some of the vibes here where it's like, I can't help that like my mind just keeps going to like where UNC was this time last year when everybody was gassing up our second year head coach that played really well down the stretch of last season and brought everybody back. Like there are some weird parallels here to where I think Duke's not going to flame out altogether and miss the tournament, but it wouldn't surprise me if they don't live up to expectations.
I must say I was very much impressed, and I know it wasn't against a really good team, but Duke looked really goddamn good last night.
Against Pembroke.
Yeah,
their defense was crazy.
They look scary good. And I know it was against Pembroke, but I see the vision, especially them playing Proctor, Roach, and then McCain at the 3. Like that scares me. So I honestly think this is pretty unlikely. I'm kind of buying into Duke after that one little exhibition game, which I feel bad about. But at the same time, like even Flip was moving extremely well and looked better than he ever did before. So I would give this a 7 because UNC is still good, but I think it's unlikely to happen.
I'm fine with a 7. I would have had it around a 6, I think, which is weird because I'm way more down on North Carolina than you guys are, so I should be grading on a tougher scale. But yeah, I don't know. The tournament's fluky to me. If you would have said better regular season, I would have given you like 10 points for this. But
yeah,
tournament, anything could happen.
Mm-hmm. All right, next one, we're going to move to one of Cart's favorite bits of who's their coach. Marquette is an 8 seed or lower. They're a bubble team this year. There's always a top 5 team that disappoints. They'll still get in the dance. They'll still be solid. Omax is a huge loss, and I don't think like they're banking on Joplin taking a leap. They're banking on Cam Jones taking a leap. Like they weren't great defensively last year, and Omax was so important to them. Is it possible we see a little Tyler Kolek regression? Like that's where I'm standing at with this. I think Marquette's going to disappoint a little bit.
Greg, you want to start with this one?
Are we quantifying? What was the quantification of how bad they are? Is there one, or is it just they're disappointed?
Yeah. Oh, 8 seed or lower in the tournament.
8 seed or lower. So, I think
Go ahead, Greg.
No,
I want to say 10.
Yeah, that's 9 or 10. I think it's 9 or 10. I think Marquette's really, really good, and I think outside of the top 3 in the Big East, there's a drop off. Even though I think the Big East is great because I think those 3 teams are great, but I think they're all going to rack up a lot of wins against those teams. So yeah, I'm perfectly okay with that. That deserves a lot of points. I'll be shocked. I'll be more surprised if that happens than anything else you've said so far.
Yeah, 10. I think they could have a regression, like you said, Riley, but the regression will be to like a 7 seed, not an 8 seed or higher. Like, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll give you 10 for that. That's a bold one.
Mm-hmm.
And last one for the tournament predictions. Pac-12 gets 5 teams into the NCAA tournament. This one I barely believe. It's very contingent on Jalen Tyson getting a waiver because Cal is my like surprise team.
Wait, you're counting Cal as the 15 that makes the tournament?
Yeah, I want to
10. 10.
Well, wait, let's talk
10.
through who the other outcomes are because he gave himself the out. He didn't just pick Cal to make the tournament.
Right. I said 5 teams.
He gave himself the out of the 5th team. So like
Arizona.
They had 4 last year. Arizona State was 1.
They were playing though, weren't they?
What'd you say?
They were playing though, right?
Yeah, but that's
Hey,
playing.
We'll count it. If it's field of 68, it counts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think this is that crazy at all because UCLA, Arizona, USC, Colorado should all be locks. And then I think Oregon and Arizona State both have chances.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Utah has a chance.
Yeah.
I wasn't willing to go fully bowl all the way with Cal, but I don't know. There's something about the Golden Bears I want to buy into.
Yeah, I think this is weak. I would give this like a 2. I don't think this deserves much.
Yeah, I'll go 2 on that. I agree with that.
All right, I'll take it.
And I love you, Riley Davis. Don't get me wrong, but I think that's just going to happen.
Hey, I swung for the fences with a couple of those. So I'll take a lower.
Yeah, credit to you by throwing Cal in there to get me off my pivot. When I just completely overlooked that the 15 could be like Oregon or something. Good on you, but 2.
Big Mark Madsen guy, Riley?
I am a big Mark Madsen guy.
Is this because you like loved him when he was a Laker or something, or just you like him?
I mean, who am I? I'm not going to fool anybody. I didn't watch a second of Utah Valley when he was there, but I just know that he elevated them and they had some good offenses. So
I was going to say, I feel like there's a non-zero chance you were like a huge Mark Madsen Lakers fan and had a Mark Madsen Lakers jersey.
Yeah, like you were Mark Madsen for like 3 straight years from the year 7 to 10 for Halloween.
Yeah, I can see that.
No comment.
Moving on.
All right, next category we have losers. So this is going to be teams that bad stuff is going to happen to. If that wasn't clear. So first one, this one really stings my heart to predict this. Kansas State misses the dance. Year 2 of Jerome Tang takes a turn for the worse. It's already been Naquan Tomlin's gone. Arthur Kaluma doesn't live up to the hype, and it's Tyler Perry and kind of a bunch of system guys that are not the system.
It's a good prediction, even though I don't want it to be true. Like, it's just a good-hearted prediction.
Yeah. I think I would give this a 6 because there's such a chance that Kaluma ends up being just what he is, like one of the best or one of the better bad players, I guess is the word that Greg uses every so often with them. Naquan Tomlin is a huge loss. I feel like people are just kind of brushing that over, and like his backup is like Will McNair, who really wasn't doing anything at Mississippi State, had some good years at New Mexico State, I believe it was before that. So this is kind of likely. I think I would go 5 points on this one.
I endorse exactly what Carter just said because he knows who Naquan Tomlin's backup is. That was honestly wild that you just had that name prepared and ready to go.
Thank you.
Will McNair? Was that what it was?
Yeah, Will McNair.
Never heard of that man. That was incredible. But yeah, ball knower. Yeah. Carter Elliott, ball knower. Let's not forget that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'll give you 5 for that, Riley.
I think 5, or I was going to say 6, but I'll take a 5. I think
you'll take 5 and like it.
I love it. The approach here is, well, I was going to say 6. And you and I, honestly, we're ready to look at each other and be like, yeah, 6 is good. 6 is fair. Like,
all right, staying on the topic of missing tournaments, Virginia misses the NCAA tournament.
2.
That's because not at least a 3 or a 4. No faith in Tony Bennett.
We're not a Tony Bennett podcast.
Yeah, that's fair. This roster's kind of stinky. It's a lot of role players.
I'll give you a 3 because I like you, and that's being courteous.
What's your?
Right, I'll take the courtesy 3.
Being an ACC guy, Riley, how bold do you actually think that is? Because the exercise is like to stretch a little bit and come up with some weird stuff. But some people think Virginia's going to be really, really good. Do you see that?
I mean, personally, I would have given it a 3 or 4. It's not my boldest. Just because I think this roster, I can't remember if I've said this on here before. Like the best Virginia teams have killers in the backcourt, whether it's Malcolm Brogdon, whether it's Kyle Guy, whether it's Ty Jerome, even London Parantis could do some stuff that like no one on this roster is going to do. They have long-term pieces like Isaac McNeely can get there in time. Andrew Rohde maybe gets there, but like they're still young and they're not really shot creators, at least not yet in Rhodey's case. I think he has that potential, showed it at St. Thomas, but again, that's St. Thomas. So yeah, I'm not crazy about this. I think they're like a NIT team who will, be first 4 out or something.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think this can happen. I really do. I think this is closer to like a 50-50 to me than anything else. So however you want to grade that is fine with me, Cart.
Like 50, so you think it should be a 5?
I don't know. I don't know if this scale is like perfectly applicable to percentage out of 100.
Let's give it a 4. Let me get my point back that I didn't get for the K-State one.
No, you're getting a 2.
Yeah, I don't like being negotiated to like that.
Yeah, you're getting a 2, and if I get some more like negotiation lip out of you, I'll give you 0 for the rest of these, mister. All right.
All right, we'll stick with the 2. Okay, next one.
Can I get an Oberon check real quick from Cart?
It's done.
Okay, good. I was just going to hold you accountable because you always do that with my coffees. So if you hadn't smacked it already, I was going to, try to just pull a little fast one on you, but credit to you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. This next one, maybe my second favorite of them all. Because this comes straight from hatred. And because I think there's a very good chance it happens, but it's still kind of bold. Duke has a players only meeting sometime in January, and there is some sort of credible reporter or very strong, like Trilly Donovan or one of those anonymous type account rumors that it's a rookies versus the vets situation.
Ooh, I love this.
Where you have like so Jeremy Roach is getting pissed off that Jared McCain and Caleb Foster getting his minutes. And Kyle Filipowski sides with the vets. TJ Power might side with Kyle Filipowski, which could look very problematic.
Filipowski sides with the vets in this scenario?
Yes. I'm going Filipowski and the vets against the freshmen.
Are there any other like of the middle ground guys? Is every sophomore and up
like what side does Mark Mitchell take?
I think if you're not a freshman, you're a vet. Like, I think it's going to be this big freshman class starts having a little bit of beef with like Jeremy Roach, and Filipowski and Mitchell are both like, nah, we're battle tested with Roach. That's our guy. Like, we love y'all young dudes, but we gotta have the captain's back.
And Jaden Schutt's like standing in the corner, like, yeah, I need my minutes too.
Okay, I do like Jaden Schutt sided with the. Wait, that situation is Jaden Schutt sided with the freshman that saying he needs more minutes?
No, because isn't this scenario that the freshmen are getting the minutes, or are the freshmen upset they're not getting the minutes?
The freshmen, I think it's the veterans. Oh man, I didn't think this far in advance.
I think the freshmen are the ones getting the minutes, and the vets are the pissy ones here.
Yes, that's what I was going for.
Yeah, in that case, it's a 10 out of 10 prediction for me, both in caliber, in entertainment value, and also I guess I wouldn't say it's like completely impossible, but I think it deserves 10 points for how audacious it is.
Yeah, I think I'd go 10 on that as well, just because of how I think the Duke team is made up and operated. They don't strike me as the type to get out of line. That's against brotherhood.
How does Shire handle that if that happens, by the way? Like, is he prepared to handle a locker room like that?
I mean, I'll give him.
He has a break glass emergency button, and it summons Coach K to the facility immediately, and he handles it.
Coach K's already there. His office is still in the practice facility.
There you
like
go.
a floorboard just like slowly panels out, and he rises right up instantly. Like, hello, John. God, that was great, Riley. I hope we get more like that. Keep going.
Yeah, next one. This is actually my favorite. St. John's has a scholarship player quit midseason.
I feel like that's pretty likely.
because they got so many freaking dudes who NIL is going to cause some issues. Patino's lost his fastball. I hate this fan base right now because they're talking so much for a team that like hasn't been to the tournament outside of the first 4 in decades because they stole Simeon Wilcher from us, like a top 50 recruit. Congrats.
If I'm not mistaken, too, like in his years at Iona, like he was having players, he was having players leave. Like that happened. Like guys were unhappy. So I could see it with a lot more mouths to feed. You know, Soriano's getting all the touches, Dingle maybe like getting his touches. They were promised this. When you add a lot of transfers, that means there's a lot of promises. I think this is pretty likely. I'd give it a 4, to be honest with you, Riley, because I think it's kind of likely.
Wow. Who's the player? If you guys both think this is likely and has a real chance, call the shot. Who's the player?
Wilcher.
I think it's Ledlum.
Good call. He already flipped his commitment. Yep, like that.
I think Ledlum's like, man, I was promised more than this. I left my Ivy League education for this, like to go to a commuter school in New York City. Like, I'm out.
Okay, that was harsh by me, Riley. You get a 6 for that. You get a 6.
Can I make a proposal? If Riley wants to be as specific to say Ledlum leaves the team, we give him a 10, if not more than 10. If he wants to leave it at a St. John's scholarship player, he gets 6.
Riley, I'd be willing to give you 15 points for Ledlum.
All right, let's roll with Ledlum. Let's go with Ledlum for 15.
Wow, we got a 15-pointer.
And now we also got Riley's game theory strategy if he were ever on Jeopardy and got the daily double. That was pretty nice. Riley, what you got?
All right, next category we're going to move to is winners. Teams that good stuff is going to happen to. We're going to start in the SEC. I hinted at this earlier. I'm picking Auburn to win this league. It feels like they have this great front court that no one's really talking about between Jalen Williams and Janai Broome. They got a coach that's been there before and done it. Aiden Holloway is right in that range of freshmen that Bruce Pearl always thrives with, like the Isaac Okoro, Sharif Cooper types. And I haven't looked at their schedule, so bad research by me, but the SEC feels so like jumbled at the top. Any number of teams can win it. And I like Auburn's chances to sort of surprise some people and win it.
I like Auburn.
I do like Auburn too, but I feel like that's a pretty bold prediction to say they're going to win the conference. Like that means they're beating out Arkansas, they're beating out Tennessee, they're beating out, Bama is in there too, Kentucky. I think I would give that a 8, and that feels a little bit harsh because I feel like it deserves a 9, but because I believe in Auburn, I think I'm giving it an 8.
I'm good with 8. I would have said 8 or 9 probably for the reasons you just said, but I alluded to this earlier. I don't think there is an elite tier in the SEC. I just don't. We did our power rankings and had Tennessee 5th, and I think that was giving Tennessee a lot of credit after the Michigan State exhibition. They're a good team, but there's a lot of good teams. They're like, I think all those teams we just named are very good teams. And if Aiden Holloway is who we think he is, then I might take Auburn. Like, I think the betting value would be on Auburn before the season. So I like the prediction. I think it's more likely than people would think. I'm good with 8 points.
Cool. Next one, we'll move to the Big 12. Again, hinted at this earlier. Give me Houston winning the Big 12, and I'll add another stipulation to it and say Jamal Shed, Big 12 Player of the Year. I know he disappointed a little bit last year. Kelvin Sampson said as much in the Almanac that he's on the same page, Shed's on the same page, that he didn't quite make the jump people expected. I like him as a post-hype sleeper. He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. Going to have competition for points with like LJ Cryer, who's a bucket. But yeah, I think Shed, better defender, will sort of be the straw that stirs the drink for a really good Houston team.
Right. You're not saying that. He actually said like they're on the same page. They both said that.
Yeah, I think it was essentially like that, where Sampson said something in the Almanac about how Shed, he might not have said disappointing, but it was essentially like Shed didn't quite take the leap that we wanted him to. And it seems like Shed is like admitted that as well, was sort of the implication.
Shed admitted that. Okay. Because you said player winning the conference, and I don't believe that Houston is going to win the Big 12. I actually don't see a world where I think Houston's going to actually have a fall off this year with the joining of the Big 12. So if you want Houston to win the Big 12, I'll give you 10. If you want both as a stipulation, I'll give you 15. But Houston has to win, and Jamal Shead has to win Big 12 Player of the Year.
I'm good with that.
You can choose.
I guess I'll go conservative with this one and go 10, and
okay,
take the points or take
the
easier
I'm bumping it
points.
down. I'm bumping it down to 9 because you took the soft route out. I'm kidding. You're getting the 10. I'm kidding.
All right, this one is going to be in my most like who cares bag, but I care. ECU, the ECU Pirates finished second in the American behind it. I'm assuming that FAU wins it, but I think this is bold because I'm saying they finish above Memphis, and I low-key really like what they're doing in Greenville. I think Mike Schwartz has a good roster that he's assembling.
Can you give us like a 3-sentence summary on what they're doing in Greenville?
They have a big man named Ezra Assar who put up some numbers last year, true sophomore. They got a Kansas transfer, Bobby Pettiford, who was like a North Carolina legend in high school.
Like Bobby Pettiford.
I'm in.
They got some.
You had me at Bobby Pettiford. I'm in. Come on, 5-star kid from Kansas. He's out now. He's at East Carolina. Yes, they're purple. They're Pirates. Bobby Pettiford's there. I'm in.
What's that mean as far as score? Yeah, what's that mean as far as score if you're in on ECU being second?
Oh, remember, I don't know. I mean, I still think
ECU's literally never been good at basketball.
Yeah, I still think it's bold. Memphis is good. Is RJ Felton still on this team?
Mm-hmm.
Is RJ Felton related to Raymond Felton?
I just assume all the Feltons are related.
That's where I'm at too. I love this team. I don't know where that leaves us as far as math. We're not a math show. You're in charge of the math today, Cart. You've been doing a phenomenal job, by the way. Let me just say. This might be your hardest test yet because I'm in. I love East Carolina right now.
I still think this deserves a 10 because they've never been good at basketball. So I'm with you on it. Didn't Tristan Newton play at ECU? Is that where he came from?
Mm-hmm. He started out there.
Greg, how do you know who RJ Felton is?
I'm on the Ken Pom page for East Carolina.
Oh, okay. I thought you just pulled that out of nowhere. I was about to be
no, I don't have the ball nolly that you do when it comes to like backup sixth men on teams.
Okay. I will give you 10 for that one, Riley. That's just to give you a little recap. You've gone 10, 15, 8, 10, and 10. So you're giving yourself a shot if these hit. Just let it be known. This could be a dog walking of us if these do come through, because we didn't have this many 10s and stuff.
All right. This next one also hits close to home. Someone who I wanted in Chapel Hill. It involves Johnny Furphy. And I'm saying Johnny Furphy replaces KJ Adams next to Hunter in the starting lineup by mid-February. We've seen how that spacing doesn't work. We have our concerns. Johnny Furphy gets a theory.
I have a theory here. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I'm trying to balance how to say this because I don't want Kansas fans mad at me. But I don't think Kansas fans watch our stuff. I don't think Johnny Furphy is as good as people have made him out to be this offseason. I think there's a lot of volatility with guys like Johnny Furphy who come over to college randomly at the last minute, that it was like never really a plan for them to do. And then all of a sudden they're here. I like all the tape I've seen. The tape makes sense. He's clearly a good player, but I don't think he's ever going to be close to a top 5 talent on this Kansas team. And even if it's clunky, I can't see Bill Self doing that.
Okay. Riley, I'm going to give you a 9 for this. And here's the reason why. I actually think that Johnny Furphy is a top 5 talented player on this team, but if I could go back to our bold prediction episodes, my bold prediction would be that Johnny Furphy doesn't play for Kansas the whole season. I think he calls it quits. Like, I think that Kansas maybe falls off a little bit. He's not getting the minutes he thinks he deserves. He's been having chronic shin splints, which I guess have been happening like his whole career. And like, they don't know when he's going to be okay to even hit the floor. And I think maybe he just says, you know what, I'm not going to deal with this in Lawrence, Kansas. I'm just going to head back home and just play overseas and then maybe enter the draft or something like that. So I think it's very unlikely that Furphy, and please, Kansas fans, this is just me making a wild guess. I have nothing as a backing. This is just in my gut feeling, which is a lot of the times it can be wrong. I'll admit that. But I'll give you a 10 on this one because a 9. I'll give you a 9 because I think it's likely that Furphy doesn't even finish with Kansas. So if you're saying he's getting more minutes by the midpoint of the season, then I'll give you a 9 on that one.
I just want to say I loved your prediction that Hunter is just not with the team at some point. I think that's going to happen I feel very confident someone with this Kansas team is going to like just be off the grid and is going to get reported they're not with the team for a mysterious, undisclosed reason. I love that prediction. And
I mean, that already cashed, to be fair.
When did it happen?
Arterio Morris.
Redemption,
true. Sorry.
Yeah.
Good Lord, Greg. All right.
All right, we'll clean it up with something more wholesome, sort of. This is like largely a winner. A little bit. I don't mean this as a shot. It might sound like it a little bit, but I think Caleb Love shoots 40+% from the field for the first time in his career at Arizona, but also has a lower assist numbers than he did at UNC last year. So he averaged 2.8 assists at Carolina last year. I think he's going to still be below that, but his efficiency is going to go up, and he'll shoot plus 40% from the field.
I think that's a 10, right? I mean, that's predicting that Caleb Love is more efficient ever is worth 10 points to me.
Yeah, but like, give me a refresher here, G, because I feel like have you watched the Arizona exhibition, at least the Matt Hills ball?
They were incredible.
Has Caleb been on the ball a lot, or has he been off the ball?
He's been on the ball in like a featured role. Yeah.
Okay. Because I feel like if he's off the ball, I feel like his percentages might go up a little bit. But maybe the assists don't go up.
The thing is, I think he had 7 assists in their exhibition game.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he killed.
You want to know how many assists he had in UNC's exhibition last year, Greg?
How many? Was that a 9?
Yes. He's always passed the ball really well against like mid and low majors. He looks so like such a dynamic passer against bad competition. So that's my thing is like, I don't know if his passing and decision-making has really improved that much, but because Tommy Lloyd's great offensive mind, really good coach, and he's going to get easier looks than he got at UNC, I think his percentages go up.
And all he has to do is average more than 2.8 assists?
Less than 2.8 assists.
Oh, less.
Yeah, I said less assists than at UNC, but his percentage is better.
Oh, I'll give that a 10. I think he averages more than 2.8 assists.
Can I throw a takeout that I think Riley's just going to quickly like get very upset about? Oumar Ballo is a better player than Armando Bacot.
That's not true.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
You
want to talk about a system player. Umar's good, but
I think this Arizona team is going to fit way better around like having Caleb do everything.
Well, you could say that, but Armando Bacot is 365 days out of 365 days a better basketball player than Oumar Ballo.
In the box score, for sure.
There's been
just at basketball
in the box score.
No, come on. There's a lie that's been propagated that Armando's not a winning player. I know Macon, who's very active in the Discord, very active on Twitter, who is a Duke fan, likes to say that. People forget that Armando gave Duke 23 in Coach K's last game in Cameron and then grabbed 20 boards against them in the Final Four on one leg. Like, Armando is not a losing player. When he is on, like when he was like, his conditioning was great that year. His motor is really good, grabs literally every loose rebound. I know he doesn't like have a post bag, but neither does Ballo. And I think Armando has he's got a little more of a handle than Ballo too, if we're going to talk about big men bags and stuff.
Yeah.
You had to qualify for that with when he's on, his motor's good. That tells you what you need to know about Armando Bacot.
Well, I think Armando lost like 20 pounds this offseason. I think he would tell you because he hurt his ankle last year, got a little out of shape in the offseason and never fully got healthy.
Okay. And we'll see. I don't know. Hunter lost like 25 pounds too. He looks too small to score. He's not knocking guys off in the post anymore. I don't know if that's a good thing for a dude who's just SpongeBob muscles, right? Like we want Armando Bacot skinnier.
He looks the same size he did during the tournament run. When he was mobile.
Fellas, I'm putting because I have veto power, I'm putting the gavel down here. This is not about Armando Bacot and Oumar Ballo, okay? This is about Caleb Love, and I'm giving it 10 because I think he averages more than 2.8 assists.
All right, let's move on. Another winner kind of ties into the tournament. Cincinnati, I barely believe this. Cincinnati is the surprise Big 12 team and makes the tournament. They need Aziz Bandaogo to get the waiver, but yeah.
See, I like a lot of players on this team.
Yeah, I do like a lot of players on this team, and I like Wes Miller.
You got Simas Lukosius.
I do love Wes Miller.
Do you have a reason why you love Wes Miller so much? You've always loved him.
Well, I loved him at Greensboro. Like I loved him there, and it kind of carried over the Cincinnati team. And like
I
Landers
don't
Nolly, I like Landers Nolly.
I don't know if y'all realize like how lame of a school UNC Greensboro is and how uninvested that student body is in basketball. And the fact that he like got them to multiple NCAA tournaments is special.
I can buy that. I mean, I like the names on this team. I just like the more I'm hearing about like their exhibitions and the preseason stuff, it's like not exactly good basketball team.
That's what scared me with him losing to SMU in an exhibition.
Yeah, I feel like I have to give this a 9.
I think that's fair. I think this might be like let me do a terrible Big Ten comparison, but shout out Guy. I think this might be like the Nebraska of a different conference. Like bunch of fun dudes, bunch of box score scoring fun types, but you add it all up, they like go to overtime with the number 1 team in the country once, and it's a fun little moment, and then everybody forgets about it.
I mean, remember when they beat Illinois in the non-conference in Wes's first year, and it was like, oh, Cincinnati top 25 team, and then no one heard from them again.
Yeah. Cincy is a sneaky great all-name team this year, by the way. Day Thomas, Jizzle James, like they just got some dudes. I like it.
Yeah. I'll go 9.
9 is good.
All right. Last one. This is everybody's a winner but me. This is God continuing to give his toughest battles to what's the phrase? Y'all know.
This is God giving his strongest battles to his toughest soldiers.
Yeah, there we go. Like I said, Duke flames out second round, but in the days following after the game, Jared McCain releases a TikTok of sorts saying, "I'm back." And Jared McCain is back for his sophomore season.
Okay, I love this take, first of all, and I want to dissect it thoroughly, but I would be lying to you if I said I wasn't distracted during it by the concept of Riley openly being a man of faith, a preacher type, a man who really goes to lengths to spread the word of the Lord. And he didn't know what the slogan was.
Well, because it's not in the Bible. It's like a cliche.
It's not only not in the Bible, Riley. It also speaks to the fact that you are not necessarily one of his toughest soldiers, because you have not been given the hardest battles, because you are Riley Bluffs Davis, my friend, and you will preach on the behalf of the Lord. But I can't believe you did not know that phrase. Okay, I honestly, I didn't even hear the thing. I was so fixated on that. Can you say it again?
I said Jared McCain announces he's coming back for his sophomore season, and it probably happens pretty soon after Duke loses in the tournament.
I need a time frame.
Oh man,
I love Cartman.
I need one
before July, sometime in June. It happens at June, in the very latest in June.
I think this is going to happen. I think it's going to happen.
You think he's coming back for his sophomore year?
He doesn't exactly like. No disrespect to McCain, who I think is like one of the most fun freshmen in the sport this year, but like he doesn't have the profile of a dude who's going to have the numbers or anything to be like top 10 pick guaranteed, right? Like a great year for Jared McCain to me does not look like, oh, he's 7th overall in the draft. It looks like he starts for Duke, has some numbers, gets picked like 24th in the first round. And we just saw Shire bring dudes who would have been picked there back. I don't know what's in the water in Cameron, but like, that wouldn't be surprising to me really at all. I kind of feel like that's the motion that's been set from Flip and Proctor now.
So you think this is a 10?
No, I think it's less. I think it's less because I think it's going to happen. I think.
Sorry, my apologies.
Yeah, I think it's like a 4.
Ooh, 4 is harsh. 4 is harsh. So? You said it. Wait, Riley, you said it has to be on TikTok, right?
I was just spitball. We could say it has to be on TikTok.
All right, this is a very serious exercise, and small details like that matter, my friend.
All right, it's just
points.
It's just going to be
TikTok. Don't hold him to TikTok. That's hard.
Jared McCain announces he's coming back for his sophomore season by June. June 1st. By June
4
1st.
4 is harsh. I'm pulling my veto power. I think he's leaving. I'm going 6.
I have a way more fun prediction than that. I know this isn't my prediction show.
This is not. You're starting to try to make it yours.
Tyrese Proctor announces he comes back for his junior year.
I feel like that's a 10.
No chance. That'd be a 10. if it's out there.
There's a massive chance that Proctor isn't as good as everybody thinks.
Yeah. I feel like he has his mind. It seems like both him and Filipowski have their mindset on like we're 2 and done. Like this is national championship or bust. And if it doesn't work out, we're getting paid.
If they are good or bad, they're going. They will get drafted. It's just they want to play good and win championships so they can do that and get drafted high, but they're going no matter what.
I think there's a world Proctor's not a first round pick at the end of this year.
That'd be bold. Unfortunately, we're not playing your exercise. Riley, on to your next one.
All right. These last 3, I have 17, 18, 19, 20 as a wild card, are awards. And one of them, there's even a subcategory of these awards called I'm pandering to Greg and Carter.
That's insane.
17, Dalton Connect makes an All-American team.
Just makes an All-American team. I think there's too many dudes on Tennessee for any of those guys to be on an All-American team. I don't think anyone will have good enough stats. I think that'd be an 8 for me.
I thought you didn't love Tennessee's dudes, though.
That's what you talking about, me or Riley?
You, I guess.
That's why I gave it an 8. That's why I gave it an 8. I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I'm backwards on it. Then I'm confused. I thought you don't think Tennessee's very good. You think their starting backcourt sucks. So if that was the case, it would be easy for Dalton Connect to be really good if he's good.
I don't think it matters, though. As long as Vescovi and Ziegler, Don, the Burnt Orange, or the Vols, they're going to be the backcourt that plays on that team, and that's going to take away from Connect.
Okay. I'm good with that.
All right. So what's the number?
8.
8.
And don't get snippy. I don't like you. Do you roll your eyes right there? Are you not happy with that 8?
I'm more than content with the 8.
Okay.
All right. Bold prediction number 18. This is the pander to Greg and Cart for this award, but I believe it. I really do. Maybe I don't believe this one. Cohen Carr and George Washington III finished top 3 in Big Ten Freshman of the Year voting.
10.
I mean, it's such a pander. It's such a pander. I have to respect how much of a pander it is. Like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
That's 10.
I was going off the assumption in this one that our guy DHS is the Big Ten Freshman of the Year. I can't go against DHS. I've been high on him like since watching him at Peach Dam. But yeah, I love Cohen Carr. I'm so in on Cohen Carr. Dude who's that explosive. I don't care if he can't shoot. You find minutes for him. You find a role for him. And George Washington III, I haven't even watched him, but I just love these rumors about him popping off in this Marquette scrimmage and that his name is George.
This Marquette scrimmage is so detrimental to Michigan. I thought it'd be great for him. It's detrimental.
Why?
I don't know. There's just it's just detrimental to me. Now we got George Washington, top 3 freshman in the Big Ten, takes flying about.
Like the season hasn't even started yet, and we've already lost the no expectations.
We were literally on Feed the Post with Joe Jackson the other day, and we had to have a conversation about how people are sleeping on George Washington III.
I think they are, man. I think he could be good.
And Exhibit A.
What? We can't talk like he couldn't be a dude at all?
This doesn't happen if Tyler Kolek straps his Rhode Island nuts up and doesn't let it happen.
Hey, don't talk about Rhode Island that way. Riley vacations there in June.
Sorry.
All right. Prediction number 19. Dylan Dessou.
What is this, man? What is this show we're doing? What are we doing today?
Dylan Dessou makes an all Big 12 team, either first or second team.
0.
Like you don't 10. You think it happens?
0. Like
you
he's
don't think
disqualified for this pick. I don't like.
No, no. We respect Dylan Dessou on this podcast. Stop that. Nonsense.
He knew by pick 18 that this would just be the Carter Elliott show. Like that's what the last 2 picks tell me. He's
okay, but
eating you what you want to feed.
But I also love Dylan Dessou. I've gone on record on the show before. Yeah, it's not just Carter who loves Dylan Dessou. I'm a Dylan Dessou guy.
I'm giving you a 4 because I think he does.
Let's go.
Can you guys name me 3 things you each individually love about Dylan Dessou?
Like, you want me to go first, or you want him?
What
to
do
go
you
first?
love about Dylan Dessou?
His first and last name start with the same letter. He rebounds extremely well. He's got like a very nice elbow game too. And he got healthier every single game he played at at Texas until he got hurt, which sucks a little bit. But when he's healthy and when he's playing, I think he is a big that gives people matchup problems.
We're on the same page because the first thing I was going to say was his mid-post game. Second thing I was going to say is his name is Dylan Dessou.
There you go, Greg.
He averaged 4.4 rebounds last year.
Hold on. Let's look at the advanced numbers. Go beyond the box score, Greg.
Oh, I mean, it's because he played a bunch of games where he only played 9 minutes a game. But, like, that's because he's Dylan Dessou that he played 9 minutes a game. Like, what are we doing, man? Like,
he was 13th in offensive rebounding rate and defensive rebounding rate in the Big 12. Top 15 rebounder in the conference.
If Dessou's top whatever in the Big 12, first team, that was the pick, right?
First team or second team.
Oh, okay. If he's a top 10 player in the Big 12, how many players from Texas are on those teams? Are you telling me Dessou's the best player on Texas? Or are you telling me like Tyrese Hunter and Max Asmus and Dylan Mitchell and Caden Shedrick all made these teams too?
I'd go one of the guards in Dessou. I'm going Dessou over Mitchell.
I like that. Dessou's good, man.
I just think he's their
Dessou is one of Dessou is a really big reason why I like Texas as much as I do.
Okay, I gotta watch some Dessou film, man. To me, he's just like their fifth guy, clearly.
All right, this is last pick. I wanted to do a Gonzaga. This doesn't even fit a category. I just think Gonzaga is going to be good again, and people are sleeping on them. And I don't know if my prediction needs to be they win Maui or they win the WCC by like 3 games. But I'm trusting Mark Few and that they're not going to fall off that the way some people think. So
Riley,
let's go.
Riley, what do you want me to do with that, man? You just gave me 3 predictions in one. What am I supposed to do with that, my brother?
All right, fine. Gonzaga wins Maui. Let's start with that.
1. That's soft. 1.
1?
That's a 1. That's a 1.
Aren't they like the 6th best team at Maui?
That's a 1.
Maui's loaded, man.
If a Gonzaga team was going to be against the world and Few against everybody, Maui is a tournament they would win to announce themselves, and then they go to the WCC and win it by like a game or 2. But they're going to win Maui, I think.
How can you check the ABV on those Oberon eclipses for me real quick, whatever that is? Like, they're like, we're just shrugging off Gonzaga's going to win Maui. Maui has Kansas, Marquette, Purdue, and Tennessee, and UCLA and Syracuse in it. And we're just shrugging it off that Gonzaga's winning that tournament?
Sorry. Okay, I'll give you can you give a number, Greg?
Is the prediction officially just Maui? That's all it is?
Yeah, Gonzaga wins Maui.
That is a little softer than the first one, but like it's still like a 7 or an 8. Like they're the 6th best team.
I'll do 7. I'll do 7.
Okay.
I'll take it.
All right. I will add these up for you, Riley. I will say this, just visually looking at it, you had a lot of you had like a lot of 8 and aboves. I don't think me and Greg had that many.
That's good. That speaks well. Those are some bold predictions.
Yes, you did it right.
I really think I believe these two.
That's
which
good.
Maybe I qualified the ones that I like sort of believe, but I believe probably 95% of them.
Yeah, the one you don't is George Washington III. We knew that. It's okay. You just thought there's a chance Jace Howard might be listening to this, and you're networking, right?
I'm trying to become a Michigan insider.
They
need another Davis around the program.
I heard. Do you want to take this opportunity, Riley, to throw some shots? Like I hear there's a certain, I don't know, energy from Davis scoops to Davy scoops sometimes.
I just don't like when I'm replaced by other Davises. It's simple. It's simple as that.
Okay.
Nothing against Davis Mosley. He does terrific work for Michigan. Actually, I think he's with Michigan anymore, but
it's Riley Fridays. It's not Mosley Fridays. So hold that.
Right, fair.
Mosley Mondays would slap though, Kurt. I just want to put some pressure on Riley, to be honest.
No. We've discussed this. There's only one day that gets named after somebody, and it's Riley Friday. So in my contract.
Respect.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how it'll always be.
What's our number? Did we tally it?
No, I'll tally it after this. I'm not doing it right now.
Okay, respect. Are we going to one big thing presented by Big B?
Yeah, we can do one big thing. Riley, you want to go first? Did you get Theo to sleep? Is that going to be your one big thing? What do you got for us today?
He's been sleeping off and on. I think as soon as I turn the lights out, he'll be out. But yeah, I do have a one big thing. And this, I don't know if this is a Midwest thing at all. I wouldn't be surprised if y'all are on this already, but I want to give a shout out to scarves because it's getting cold in North Carolina. It dropped from like the 80s to the 40s in a 2-day stretch. And I first picked up on scarves when I lived in Czech Republic because it's a very European thing to do. And Prague gets cold in the winter. Of course, you can make a scarf work if you're wearing a nice fit, but even if you're just going out to take the dog for a walk for a neighborhood, you're wearing it with sweats, tuck it under your jacket is a game changer. Keeping your neck warm, I mean, it's enhanced my walks like tenfold.
Riley, scarf discourse. You expected us just to move on after you just gave a scarf discourse?
I'm telling you, try a scarf, man.
I respect.
I know
you.
it gets cold where y'all are at.
But,
I know.
I love you. I hear you 100%, and my neck gets cold. But I've always said to myself, like, if I ever got down bad enough where I got to a point where I started robbing people, the first people I would rob and look to rob, because I know that I can do it, is people that wear scarves.
The idea that you've always told yourself that is so absurd.
What?
You've literally always told yourself if you had to rob someone, it would be scarf people.
Yeah, because I know that would work.
There's no way that's a thought you've ever had before. If it is, I'm so worried about you.
It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, just the sentence, like keeping the neck warm has really changed my walk game. It's just like I don't even know what to do with that. I really don't. You're never going to beat the allegations. It's why we love you, Riley. It truly is. You play such an integral role in the dynamic here. So thank you for the scarf discourse. Also, I have a weird feeling our Discord is going to absolutely love this.
Yes.
Our Discord gravitates to some of the most inane things in the world when we like bring up random shit instead of like our detailed basketball analysis. Sometimes like they wanted a channel specifically for stakes. So I can already see now there's going to be at least 3 people like we need a scarves channel and just exchange some scarves info.
Hey, they've gotten a lot of good commentary on random topics this episode. I think we let our hair down a little bit more after dark.
Yeah, something about these nighttime episodes, man. It gets everybody on edge in a variety of ways, which is a great segue into my one big thing. I want to just give a personal apology to my lovely friend, Carter Elliott. I've been very abundantly over the top mean to this man this week. I've been hard to him. Pause. I've said a lot of really mean things. I've just crossed the line probably more than normal. I don't know what it is necessarily. I think I've been overcompensating. I think I said it a couple days ago. Like my way of dealing with tragedy is through humor. But I think I've been taking my humor out in a venomous way on Carter Elliott because we've been on so many calls together. We did the Bleacher Report thing, and I just kept making jokes about this man at every single way. So, Cart, I appreciate you putting up with me. I'm sorry I crossed the line this week. I'll be better next week. I'll get some good sleep. I don't work this weekend, which is great. And then in like a week, I don't work at all anymore. So honestly, I think I'll be a little more refreshed going forward. And I appreciate your kind words and support while I just slandered you at every stop this week, Cart.
I might just be oblivious or I'm good with it. Like, I don't think you really said anything mean or out of line or out of the ordinary. So you just go ahead and operate the way you want to, my friend. And if that's what you need, go ahead, let me have it. I'm also an easy target. I really only have myself to blame. My one big thing actually is a live one big thing. Okay, fellas, I had a same game parlay, right? Same game parlay going. Okay. I had Deontay Johnson, 40 plus yards. That hit pretty easily. That hit in like the first quarter. Okay. I had Derrick Henry receiving yards over 12. Hit that about the second quarter. Felt good about that. I come into the last drive and I don't want to butcher his name, but Akonwu to have over 2.5 receptions. He hadn't had a target until the last drive. He gets 3 catches on the last drive alone. Okay. The last leg of it, Will Levis over half of an interception. So Will Levis will throw an interception. He throws an interception to end the game. and the same game parlay hits. $10 to win 100. It felt great. I literally just watched. I got the TV on behind me and I watched it happen. And it happened because of you two beautiful men. And that's exactly why you're in my top 5 Caucasians.
Can we get the other 3 quickly?
Michael Cera, Muss, Riley, Greg, because he was mean to me, and then my Uncle Joe.
I cracked the top 5 because I'm mean to you.
I need that.
Okay, I love that. All right. First of all, congratulations, Cart. We need that energy. That's great for betting this weekend, by the way. We have to write the newsletter. Hopefully that's out tomorrow. Congrats. Nothing better than a same game parlay hit. By the way, if we're going to talk same game parlays, I would just like to maybe throw some good energy out into what I have cooking right now, Cart. I need 6 Victor Wembanyama rebounds and 2 Victor Wembanyama blocks to win $4,525 on a $25 bet. We're midway.
What quarter?
Midway through the third quarter. There's 6:40 left in this game. The problem is they're killing Phoenix. Wemby, they were up 21 at the half, and Wemby had 20 at half.
Jeez.
He's a killer. He's a murderer. It's insane. It's on NBA TV, though, if anyone wants to watch. Go root for 6 Wemby rebounds and 2 Wemby blocks for a nice payday for your boy.
He hit 6 rebounds, at least according to the box score.
No, I need 6 more rebounds.
6 more. My bad.
Oh my.
I need 12. I need 12 Wemby rebounds, 3 Wemby blocks. But all that's left, that means I need 6 and 2 more from where we're at. And we're golden.
Yeah.
Wish it into existence, folks. All right. Great show this week. Appreciate everybody. Thanks for showing love on Bleacher Report. We'll be back there on Monday. Make sure you tune in. Have a great weekend. Follow Riley Davis as well. Goodbye.